What is up guys, Greedy Knight here with a video on the Gore Magala armor sets used by time attackers. As usual, I'll break down the skills and the bonuses just to explain why Gore Magala ends up being the best armor set in the game. Let's get into it. The Black Eclipse set bonus is the timer attacker meta. Every build worth their salt is going to run the pieces for the free value it provides before it accounts for slots and skills. At 2 pieces it provides the self-inflicted virus with the associated antivirus combo, providing 25 affinity when cured. At 4 pieces it provides 10 raw attack while infected and 15 attack when cured, effectively serving as a free 10 attack minimum regardless of which phase of the virus you are in. It also increases the duration of your cured state, allowing you to maintain your affinity and attack boost longer than the 2-point version of the skill. Overall, you have to look at the Gore Magala armor for a meta set, it's just whether you run 2 or 4 pieces. The first armor set is something that was prevalent in speedruns and time attacks on release, using the best single armor piece, the Guardian Arcfeld arms with the 4-piece Gore set. You run the Max Might level 2 charm because this set doesn't have enough level 2 slots to accommodate full power Max Might. A variation of the set swaps out the Garkfeld arms and Max Might charm for the Fulgur arms and the Weakness Exploit charm for the same skill distribution, minus the 3 level 1 slots. You get Max Weakness Exploit, Max Might, and Antivirus to get 90 affinity on weak spots, and 100 on wounds. You slot in high priority skills for Ardean weapons as usual, and Burst. Constitution is run to synergize with Max Might. After depleting stamina, you have 2 seconds before Max Might deactivates. Constitution speeds up your stamina recovery, letting you use 1 evade or 1 light knockback guard, so that it can refill the bar before that 2 seconds is up. It translates to more consistent Max Might uptime, resulting in better damage output. As for the second set, it is effectively identical to the first set, but now with 5 points of Agitator. It's only available after beating Zosha, and you drop a few points of Constitution as a result. You swap to the Agitator charm and shift around Weakness Exploit investment to max out Agitator. Because it's a raw attack boost and an affinity boost, you can afford to drop some points of affinity for the extra damage. You still run the Ardean weapon, but the Zosha Charge Blade is a pretty close second choice, minus the extra paralysis window, so it's a good secondary Charge Blade to run. Note that time attackers use the attack boost distribution over offensive guard because you do not have to wait for the monster to attack you, instead they just get the consistent damage. The last Gore set is an elemental version, complete with Convert Element and Coalescence. The theory here is to steal what makes the raw sets good and carry it over to the element sets in addition to element specific boosts. This levels the playing field damage wise, letting element do what it does best, outperform raw build when countering a monster. The main problem is that you are unable to get sufficient weakness exploit without cutting into burst investment. So after a quick calculation, the shown investment is the most quote-unquote correct investment for weakness exploit versus burst. You hit 70 affinity with 1 level of weakness exploit versus 95 affinity with 5 levels of weakness exploit. 70 affinity is good enough for consistent crits, and you trade off that 25 affinity for attack and element investment through burst. As a result, it promotes the more hybrid playstyle since fall damage will be closer to the element cap with 5 burst than with 1, while keeping an acceptable affinity level for consistent crits. When comparing the values against previous sets posted on the channel, the Gore sets are not strictly the best because it depends on the file type. For Impact File, the Gore sets have all the bells and whistles of raw attack boost plus Black Eclipse too. So the 4-piece Gore set is the raw meta by virtue of reaching the highest amount of raw attack and good enough affinity. For Element File, the 4-piece Gore set does less damage compared to the Super Spam set. Element File damage is scaled by element multipliers, so having the higher element value that then gets doubled results in more damage for Element File. Also with the 4-piece version, your Coalescence uptime will be lower because the extended cure status duration. You will maintain your cured status for longer, therefore your virus can be cured less often, so you trigger Coalescence less, making the 2-piece set and its more frequent Coalescence uptime superior for Element File overall. Like if this video is useful to you, consider subscribing if you want to see more Charge Blade content like this. Comment down below your thoughts on the video. That's all I got for this one. Greedy Knight signing out.